Hello, thank you for sharing your time and energy with me on the mat today. We begin in easy seat, preparing for a warm up, connecting to the breath, feeling the inhalations and exhalations as they move carefully through the body. We can release the hands to the knees if we found them at heart center, and begin to take a slow neck roll, just one way around, tracing a big circle with your nose. And then once you reach your beginning point, we reverse it and go the other way, opening up through the cervical spine. Meeting back up to neutral, take the fingertips to the shoulders and draw big circles with the elbows this time. Inhale, draw them up in front of the chest, and exhale around and back behind you. Noticing as the shoulders, the back, and the sides of the ribs begin to stretch and open up. Maybe we reverse and begin to go the other way, drawing the elbows first back behind us. This may feel a little odd or unnatural, but it's always good to balance ourselves out. One more big circle. We can release the hands to the knees, finding hip circles, beginning with a lot of circles today. Taking the chest forward and then around to the back, working through the groins, the glutes. Breathing easy. And whenever you're ready, we can find neutral spine. Inhale, reach the arms above the head. Exhale, twist to the right. The right hand comes behind the back. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to twist. Inhale, reach the arms back up to center. And exhale, twist to the left. Finding length on the inhale, deepening on the exhale. Back to center, planting the right hand, reaching the left overhead. Going as deep as feels good, listening to your body. Just enjoying this big, beautiful stretch. One more breath. Then exhale to gently press back up and switch sides, sweeping the right arm overhead, making these motions fluid, flowy, fluid like water, moving with the breath, synchronizing movement and breath. The name of the game in Vinyasa. Releasing and sitting back up, reaching the hands behind the lower back. Interlace the fingers and pull the hands down to lift the chest up to the sky. Big breaths here, spreading between the collarbones, opening up the shoulders. Opening up for new possibilities, to the love and light, that positive energy. Exhale, gently release, take the hands in front of the knees and make your way into tabletop. Preparing for a few rounds of cat-cow, so find your position first, before inhaling to lift the gaze and drop the belly. Exhale, press through the hands, tuck the tailbone. Start to move with your breath, making each round a little bit bigger than the last. Just waking up the spine. Beautiful. 2 more rounds. And then we meet back in tabletop. Grounding down through the hands, press through the tops of the feet to connect to the core and lift the knees about 2 inches off the mat. Hold here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the knees. Ground down through the right hand, lift the left and the right leg behind, big inhale. Exhale, crunch, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Beautiful. Use your balance. The abdominal muscles will work for you. Inhale, reach, extend. This time, exhale, bend the knee, reach back for the ankle. Draw it up to the sky, tiger pose. Beautiful. Use your balance and your breath. And exhale to release the foot. Releasing the knee to the mat. Inhale, peel the left arm up. And exhale, thread the needle, coming to lie on the left ear. Finding a gentle twist here. Only about 2 more rounds of breath. A quick little moment. Exhale to press back up. Inhale, reach, and tabletop. Extending the opposite arm and leg, find length. Exhale, crunch 3 times. Reach and crunch. Length and round. Inhale, reach, and this time exhale, tiger pose. Use the top of the foot and your palm to really ground down through the mat, pressing away from the mat as we reach towards it, using the opposition to help you create space in the body. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach up and thread the needle. Beautiful. Find your comfortable position where we can release and surrender for a moment. Feeling the space in the spine, in the back, through this beautiful twist. And then exhale to press back up. Inhale, reach, and tabletop. Tuck the toes, walk the hands out, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Reach the heels down towards the mat. Gaze at the hands. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, roll the spine to high plank. 1 breath, and then exhale, send it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, roll. Downward facing dog. 1 more time, moving with the breath. Feel this beautiful big body connection. And then this time we roll through plank to carefully lower ourselves down onto the belly. Make your way there now. And inhale, untuck the toes, lift the chest, release the hands a few inches off the mat. Active in the legs, squeezing the glutes, strengthening the lower back. Roll the shoulders down. A few more breaths. Nice and strong. Exhale, plant the hands under the shoulders, connect to the core, lift up through plank, and send the hips back, downward facing dog. Ground down through the left foot. Inhale, raise the right, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it forward, tap the right elbow, and hold here for a breath. Squeeze everything in. Exhale, 3-legged dog. Inhale, tap the elbow and plant the foot in between the hands. Lift the chest, high runner's lunge. On your next inhale, plant the left hand and sweep the right up. Twist. Reach for the sky. And then begin to take a few shoulder circles. Opening up, waking up the shoulder joint. Just a few circles here. And then release the fingertips back to the mat, framing the foot. Inhale, raise the arms up. Warrior One, plant the back foot. Exhale, take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, lift the chest, pull the hands down the leg. Big breath. And exhale, sink the chest towards the thigh, hands come overhead, humble warrior. Inhale, lift, pivoting on the back foot. And whenever you're ready, jump up into warrior 3, lifting off that right leg. Squeezing the glutes, squaring the hips, hold for one more breath. Then exhale, step up to the front of the mat and forward fold. Spreading the feet hip width apart, find a few moments to dangle. Maybe grasp opposite elbows and let the head hang. Just taking a moment to catch our breath or find a little check-in. Maybe rolling out the neck, shaking our head, yes or no. Then releasing the hands, planting the left, bending the left knee, and inhale, peel the right up, finding a gentle twist. One more big breath. Inhale. And exhale, plant the right hand, switch sides. Coming back to our breath. And exhale, release. Stepping back to downward facing dog, pedal out the feet and find your position. Gaze at the hands. Inhale, sweep the left leg up. Bend the knee, tap the left wrist, and hold. Exhale, send the left leg back. Tap the left elbow, and step it in between the hands. High runner's lunge, lift the chest, nice and open. Then plant the right hand, reach the left up, big twist, full body stretch. And wake up that shoulder joint. Find a few little hip circles or shoulder circles. Big reaches. Take up space. And exhale, frame the left foot, gaze forward. Inhale, reach up, lifting the chest, planting the foot, warrior 1. Exhale, take the hands behind the lower back. And inhale, lift the chest up high. Send the hands down the leg. Exhale, take the chest forward towards the thigh, but not dumping into the hips, staying nice and active. Breathe. Inhale, lift the chest, pivot on the back foot, arms come up, and we find our balance to lift off into warrior 3. Taking your time to get there, using your focus point. One more breath. And exhale, step up to the top of the mat, forward fold. Take one breath, and then gently roll up to standing as slow as you can, feeling each vertebra as we roll up through the back to mountain pose, palms face forward. Inhale, reach the hands up. And exhale, flat back, dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, reach through the crown. Exhale, step back, plank pose, taking a vinyasa. Slow and controlled. we meet in downward facing dog. Right leg comes high, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, in through the chest, step up. Warrior 1. Inhale. Exhale, Warrior 2. Squeeze the shoulders together. Inhale, reach forward and back, Peaceful Warrior. Exhale, windmill the arms around, extended side angle. Inhale and exhale up to Warrior 2. Shift the hips back and reach down for triangle pose, straightening the legs. Hold here for a breath. We can stay here, or we can gently release the bottom arm and reach out to the side, really connecting to the core, squeezing through the legs. And exhale, bend the front knee, Warrior 2. Inhale, pivot on the back foot, high lunge, and exhale, step back to plank pose. We can take an optional vinyasa here, or we can just step back to downward facing dog. Left leg comes high, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, in through the chest, Warrior 1. Inhale, sink down into the hips and open up, Warrior 2. Peaceful Warrior, reach the left arm overhead, right comes down the leg. Exhale, extended side angle, nice long line. Ground down through the outer edge of the foot. Warrior 2. And gently send the hips back and tip over the leg, finding our triangle pose. Really reaching out through the crown of the head, finding space in the side body. Staying here or taking our variation, depending on what feels good to you. Exhale, release into Warrior 2. Pivot around to the front of the mat and rain the fingertips down, stepping back, plank pose. Send the hips up, downward facing dog. Right leg comes high, in through the chest, and release into pigeon pose. Settle in, and then inhale to lift the chest high. Exhale, fold over the right knee. Sending the pelvis down into the mat, opening up through the right glute. Maybe releasing down onto the forearms or onto the forehead. Relaxing the mind as we find our breath again. Beautiful. Letting whatever needs to come up for you here come up without judgment. And we can stay here if we need a deeper release, or we can reach the chest up and send the ankle up into the hips, finding a quadricep stretch. Maybe we come into mermaid pose, placing the foot in the corner of the elbow and connecting our hands over our head. Opening up through the shoulders, keeping the chest nice and open. Breathing through whichever hip opener we've chosen. And on your next exhale, gently release, pressing up into downward facing dog to repeat on the other side. Lifting the left leg, bringing it in through the chest and coming into our pigeon pose. Making any minor adjustments to feel comfortable before we fold over the left leg. Not forcing anything, finding a sweet and gentle release. Holding loving space for yourself to just be. To meet yourself wherever you're at. One more big breath, if we want to take our quadricep stretch, mermaid variation. Otherwise, we can stay here in pigeon pose, using our breath to release. Nice, deep, even breaths wherever we are. Transitioning easily, moving smoothly. Meeting back in downward facing dog whenever you're ready. And gently coming down onto the forearms, making our way into dolphin. Pressing the chest as close to the thighs as we can, using the forearms to reach ourselves back. Lengthening through the spine. Taking a moment to notice if your breathing has slowed or changed rhythm at all. And then exhale to press back up through the hands and gently release down onto the belly. Bending the right leg, reach back for the ankle, pressing the left forearm in front of the chest. Coming into this half bow shape where we send the leg up, keeping the knee off the mat, or we can take a half frog, keeping the thigh on the mat. Releasing whichever position we've chosen to reach back for the left. Either pressing into the hand, squeezing the glute to open up through the hip flexor, or getting a nice quadricep stretch. We can take full bow pose if that is in your practice, reaching back for both ankles, and exhaling to send the pelvis down into the mat, reaching all of our limbs up towards the sky. One more breath, and exhale to release, coming into locust pose, keeping the arms by the sides, reaching the fingertips towards the toes as we send everything up. Squeeze, and exhale, release, making a pillow with the forearms. Taking a few moments to breathe, calming yourself down, releasing any tension before extending the left arm by the side and kicking the right leg over. Rolling over onto the left shoulder, finding a nice big release there in the front of the body. Just being with yourself. Exhale to gently release, rolling back onto the belly and extending the right arm. Taking your awareness back to your breath and how it feels now. Is it invigorating? Is the pace fast or slow? Do you feel it nourishing your body? Exhale, back onto the belly. Gently press back onto the knees and send the hips back for child pose. Reaching the fingertips out in front, and then on your next exhale, walk them over to the right side, getting a beautiful stretch. One big long line from fingertips all the way down the side of the body. See if you can feel this energy. And then whenever you're ready, you can gently walk the hands through center over to the left side. Feeling this body awareness. Maybe we can feel the skin tingling a little with our heat. And whenever you're ready, we can exhale back through center. Gently press up onto the hands, lowering down onto the belly, rolling onto the back and hugging the knees into the chest. Finding comfort in wind release pose, whether that be stillness or maybe a gentle little soothing sway. Massaging the lower back as we hold ourselves close. Sending loving thoughts and energy to our body and mind. Thanking yourself for getting on the mat today. And then extending both legs, flexing the feet up towards the ceiling and pulling them in towards the chest. We can keep the knees slightly bent here if we need a little bit more access or use a yoga strap. No judgment on how close your legs are, just finding what feels good to us here. Beautiful. And on your next exhale, gently bend the knees, bringing the soles of the feet together. Pressing the feet together as we hold them with the hands. Sending the knees out to the sides as we open up through the inner groins. Maybe revisiting anything that came up for you during this practice. Or maybe taking this time to just be with yourself, connecting back to your breath and what truly matters most. And we can gently make our way into a twist, bringing both knees to the left side, gazing over our right shoulder. Noticing our breath. Maybe it's returned back to its natural rhythm as we start to end our practice. Gently lift the knees and take them over to the right side. Finding the same spinal opening on the other side as we continue to sit with our breath, just noticing. Just observing. There's nothing left to do in this moment, in the now. Exhale, back onto the back, taking the knees together and finding a few gentle windshield wipers. Taking any other movements that feel necessary to complete this practice for yourself before gently making your way into any final resting position that suits you. Just beginning to let the body feel heavy, letting it sink down into the mat as it lifts up to meet you. Taking a mental body scan, noticing if there are any areas that we're still holding on to a little bit of tension, that we're finding a little bit of resistance. Take a look at that part. Send it love, hold space, and then lovingly release. Consciously let it go. Anchoring your awareness back to this present moment with your breath, knowing you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You are on the right path. No need to fear, no need to worry. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I look forward to seeing you soon.